Okay, so like this is like any other piece of machinery. Let's see here. It comes in a crate. It's pretty well. Yeah. Hold on, it's pretty heavy. So, all right. So it comes pretty well put together in a crate. First impressions is nice and clean. It came with a couple of screws down there, a couple of screws to hold it together. So pretty nice case, no damage. So now we're gonna bring it inside, and I want to show you how to put it together. Yeah, the bottom stuff comes all packaged in plastic, so it's pretty well packaged, and it's staying together. So hardware. All right, so I got this press brake at Harbor Freight, and I showed the unboxing. It comes in a wooden crate. So it's pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty nice. It it's pretty much assembled. All I had to do is put the legs in, and that was it, pretty much. But it only bends. If you look down here, it only bends 12 gauge steel. 12 gauge steel, 16 gauge sheet metal at 36, 12 gauge at 18. I mean, it does stainless 22 gauge. I want to bend 16 gauge stainless. Don't know why, but that's what I bought, 16 gauge stainless. So when I try to bend it, it'll bend small pieces of stainless with no problem. Like 6-inch, that I've tried 6-inch, it'll bend it no problem. But 34-inch, which is for that backsplash that we just cut the sheet for, it won't do that. This plate bends. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this 1/4-inch steel that I have here, this 1/4-inch steel, and let me show you. Okay, so I'm going to take this 1/4-inch steel here, and first I'm going to square it off. Square it off because there's a little, the cut here is not squared. So, but what I'm going to do is, let me turn to there. Yep, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to weld it to here. I'm going to weld it like this to this plate. Okay, I'm going to weld it so when the material is sitting up here, now I have a bigger shelf, so the material can be easy. I think that just this little fix will solve the problem of bending that 16 gauge stainless. And the reason being that I have to do that is because it's so small, this edge is so small, that when I try to bend the stainless, it takes too much force. So this thing gets forced under the plate. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all, actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grind this down. Take the paint off, not grind it. Take the paint off, clean this up, and then I'm going to put a couple of welds, some gussets, and then we're going to give it a try. I think that's all that is. It's It's like buying the Mona Lisa. You know, this only costs 200 bucks. But when you buy the Mona Lisa in you buy the Mona Lisa, you don't want to spend millions of dollars. You buy the canvas with the outline, and then you got to put the color in it. So this is what I got here. I got bare bones. If I had to buy all this material to make this, it would be way more than 200 bucks. Especially having to make these bushings, you know, having to make all this on the lathe and the milling machine. It's just too much. So I'm gonna grind this down, weld it, and try to get this thing, you know, for, I had this material, but you know, I mean, for an extra, maybe an extra 200 bucks, I'll be able to do what I want to do with this. So let's go ahead and grind this down, and then get this plate squared off, and then we'll go from there. I actually have a bandsaw, but it's buried in there, so I don't. So let's see how this came out. I'm trying to go for looks too. I just don't want to throw it together, but to get the bandsaw out is get that bandsaw out is almost as much work as I want to put into it. There we go. Now we'll lift this, put these under here. These under here. And this will hold, these levels will hold it against the plate. So that's pretty good. I got a little bit of an overhang, which I wanted. I want like a quarter on each side. That's pretty good right there. So there we go. So now we are pretty square. So now what I'm gonna do is cut gussets from here to the plate every 2 inches or something, all the way down. And I think if I go like this, see, yep, I'll go like this. I think I should be perfect. Alright, let's get some material for some gussets. Alright, so now that I know pretty much what this is gonna go, I'm gonna just grind the paint right off of it, right off this this edge. Alright, so now I got everything ground. Alright, so now it's ground every few inches or so. So that way I can weld all the gussets, the little triangle things that go in here, all the way down. So now I'm going to do the same thing to this plate and to all these little guys that I just cut. Well, I only cut the two ends, so I got to cut some more out of that stuff. So let me grind this, and then I'll bring you back. Okay. So now I got this whole thing. I put some grinds on it. So now it's ground here, all here. I'll wait for this part once I cut the pieces that goes here. Alright, so we're going to throw a couple of welds just to hold it together. And then we're going to test it out. Let's see here. You got a good picture? Yep. Let me go back a little. I don't know if the welds are going to mess up the camera or not. Anyways. Alright, so let's do this. Okay. Small problem. Alright, so let's see what we got. I just put two little welds in there to okay. Let's give it a test. Let's see what it looks like. Alright, look at that. Nice. Okay. That looks really good. So that's pretty much how it's going to look. We have, now we extended the blade so that it can bend better. So now I'll just have to completely weld it. And we got ourselves A nice bender there. Okay. So now the next thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to throw a weld in the middle too, just to get it nice and you know, level, square actually. I'm gonna go. A couple more. Put a couple more of these in. This welder that I have, that I'm using, it's only a 135 amp machine. You almost need, you know, I have a 250 amp machine. It's buried right now, so it's gonna hold, but I got the machine cranked as hot as it could go, because it you know, this is 1/2 inch plate. So I'm starting down here and working into this plate, but it really needs more power. There's one. And for all you safety Nazis out there, I have safety glasses on, and I'm pretty confident I can handle the grinder, so I'm being as safe as I can.